Hello again, YouTube. You may have noticed at this point this is the second rather poorly lit video that I've recorded. That's because I'm recording these at night, and the only illumination I have is the rather dim ceiling lights I've got. Well then, on to the point of my video. How do you view womanhood? Allow me to elaborate. How do you judge when a girl is truly a woman? Is it when she completes puberty, has had her first period, has fully developed her breasts and hips and body hair? Or is it when she has her first child and becomes a mother? I think there's a very distinct difference between womanhood and motherhood. As far as I'm concerned, a girl becomes a woman when she has completed puberty. The same applies to men. They become men when they have completed puberty. Excuse me. Now, I know what some people will say. Just because they've gone through puberty doesn't mean that they're mature enough to be called men and women. I will agree that some people mature much slower than others. Maturity and wisdom do not reach everyone at the same time. In fact, there are some people that maturity and wisdom don't reach at all. I'm pretty sure we all know at least one person this applies to. My point is about biology. Biologically speaking, humans reach adulthood at puberty. That is the time that we are physically capable of reproduction. It's nature's way of saying, you're an adult now. Puberty is biology's rite of passage into adulthood in this sense. The fact that many people on Earth are not considered men or women after puberty due to their lack of maturity is irrelevant. Let's say you believe that a girl becomes a woman when she has her first child and becomes a mother. Let's say that you tie womanhood in with motherhood, that a woman is not a real woman until she has children. Do you also view boys as not being men until they become fathers? If not, then you hold a double standard that is not fair. Why should a man be considered a man prior to fatherhood, while a woman isn't a real woman before she becomes a mother? At this time, I would like to share my own view once again. Motherhood and womanhood are two different things. Just because a woman chooses not to have children, or perhaps she is physically incapable of having children, does not make her any less of a woman than she who has 16 rugrats running around. Every woman is different. I read an article written by someone that, since reading their article, I believe to be absolutely brilliant. The article was thanking childless women for not having children, and not just women, but childless adults who choose not to breed. The reason for the thanks, according to the author of the article, is that these people who have chosen not to have children are doing the world a favor by recognizing their own inability to be the kind of parent they believe children deserve. Chances are, these people who have chosen not to have children believe that children deserve parents who will be there for them and provide for them, raising them in a healthy and loving environment. It is an extremely powerful thing that you are not the to realize that you are not the kind of person to provide such an environment to a child, and to subsequently decide not to have children and actually stick to it and not have children. I have friends who have chosen to be childless, and I respect them immensely. The author of the article I read was correct in that he said there are millions of children born to families who do not truly want them. People say they don't want children, and then they have kids for one reason or another, and those children feel it in one way or another that they weren't completely wanted, that they were a mistake, that their parents would enjoy their lives better without the children around. This is especially true for children whose parents get divorced. And it was true for me. I always knew that I wasn't planned. And children are extremely perceptive in that way. This is a cold, hard... excuse me. I've just jumped forward a little bit. I've scripted this so that I know where I am, what I'm trying to say, and I just kind of lost my place. Bear with me for a moment. Okay. So as I was saying, children feel it in one way or another that they were not wanted, and they feel that their parents would enjoy their lives better if they weren't around, if the kids were not around. This is a cold, hard truth that many people don't want to face, but a lot of these people having children who previously said they wanted none are having children to satiate society, because society rants and raves about how everyone needs to have their own family and we need to continue propagating the species. We do not need to propagate the species. Let me make that very clear. We do not need to propagate the species. The planet is overpopulated as it is, and the growing population of humans makes it worse every single day. We are displacing animals from their natural habitats. Our pollution has wreaked havoc on the planet. There are landfills that will take longer than any of us will live to degrade. There are landfills in the ocean that will be out there forever, because even if people went out to clean the oceans up, it would take far longer than one lifetime to get it done. Humans have been destroying the planet we live on for decades, if not centuries. Where do we draw the line? Where do we say, let's slow down population growth and focus on the balance of the world's ecosystem and cleaning up the environment? I'll tell you, we don't say. There are many people out there who care deeply about the effects humans are having on the planet, the havoc we are wreaking on a daily basis. But those people don't hold a powerful enough voice in many areas, particularly the United States. Furthermore, society continues to put a stigma on childless adults, calling them selfish. Why, yes, childless adults are selfish. Selfish in the way that they are helping to slow the growth of the human population in an already overpopulated planet. Selfish in the way that they have realized their own faults, desires, lack of desires, and most of all, they have recognized that they would not make the best parents, and instead of having unwanted children and raising them while wishing their lives were childless, have chosen not to have children at all. Selfish in the way that they do us all a public service. Yeah, childless adults are so selfish. You know who is selfish? Society. The society that pushes its beliefs onto others. The society that demands that everyone have children, just to make it happy. The society is selfish. That is the society that is destroying the planet and contributing to overpopulation. A world populated now by many unwanted children who should never have been born. You probably think I shouldn't say that. That any child should not have been born. In a way, you're right. Everything happens for a reason. However, I also hold that I should not have been born. I was an accident and a mistake. My mother was on birth control, and the only reason that it failed and I was conceived was because she was taking another medication that counteracted the birth control. So I was born anyway. My parents were not fit to be parents. I should not have been born. But I was. And I was likely born for a reason, just like every other unwanted child who was born in this world. But that doesn't change the fact that if they were unwanted, they should not have been born. You may say, oh, just put him up for adoption. Why don't you look into the adoption process? Why don't you look into the U.S. foster system and see how many children are in it and what the percentage is of them who are adopted? Go ahead, do it. You'll probably be surprised. My point here is that womanhood is not synonymous with motherhood, and vice versa. A childless woman who enjoys a childless life with her partner, be it a husband, wife, long-term girlfriend or boyfriend, or simply a series of partners even, or even alone, wherein she is able to take vacations without worrying about making sure places are child-friendly and she doesn't have to worry about babysitters, ever. That childless woman is just as much of a woman as she who is a mother. I have nothing against mothers. I have friends who are mothers, and they make absolutely phenomenal parents. I have so much respect for them, and I love them dearly because they make such great mothers. And despite my personal bias against young motherhood. My friends who have had their children either in their late teens or early 20s, they make great mothers, and I have so much respect for them because of that. However, do not belittle women who have chosen to be childless. And do not belittle childless men for choosing not to be fathers. Instead, congratulate them on their presence of mind and their foresight. Thank them for not having children when they don't want them. Thank them for not contributing to overpopulation. Congratulate them on their childlessness, the way they likely congratulate you on the pregnancies and births of your children, if you have any. And finally, a message for women who are physically incapable of having children. Do not despair. You are a woman. You are wonderful for wanting children if you do want them. And there are options for you to have them. You can get a surrogate mother to have a baby for you, or you can adopt a baby or a child. There are babies born every day who are immediately put up for adoption at infancy. So if you're not looking to an older child who needs just as much love as any other child who is up for adoption, there are also infants up for adoption as well. You have options. Children take planning and preparation regardless of how you acquire them, be it birth, surrogate, or adoption. And if you choose to adopt, I encourage you to rest easy knowing that you can tell your children that he or she was wanted, that they were chosen. You wanted them so much that you went through the grueling and painful process to adopt them from parents who didn't want them. You can sit high knowing that you have done that child an absolutely wonderful service. So, if you have something that prevents you from having your own children, please don't feel bad. Please don't feel that you aren't a real woman. You are a real woman. And if you want a child, you can have one. Thanks for watching, guys, and once again, sorry for the really crappy video quality and kind of stuttering over myself a little bit. This is why I cannot wait for my video editing stuff and my camcorder to get here. In other news, Merry Christmas. I don't know if I'm going to post anything before then. Happy Hanukkah, happy holidays, whatever you all celebrate. Once again, thanks for watching, and if you would like to thumbs up and share this video, it would be really greatly appreciated. Bye!